What's up guys, this is Theo, coming at you with a video that I've been thinking about for a little bit. We all know the next format is going to be fun, with a lot of dice roll herpa derpa decks coming around. But what I've been thinking about is next format and beyond next format, have Konami screwed themselves? Now I say this, and the reason why is because they created Evilswarms. Evilswarms, if you don't know by now, if you've been living under a rock somewhere or you're just getting into the format, just getting into Yu-Gi-Oh again, is basically a deck that splashes a card called Evilswarm Ophion, which basically is a 2/550 beta that can search any infestation card, which has infestation spell or trap that has a really broken lance effect, and while it's got a material, neither player can special summon level 5 or higher monsters. Now the reason I say have they screwed themselves is because they created that card. That card is very much screw you and fuck you to all the synchro decks, high level decks that, anything level 4 or lower that don't exceed are going to struggle. So, your Prophecies, which is a very big push next format, your the Dragons, very big push. There's going to be the Blue Eyes deck coming out, and I can see that all being busted as usual because they just seem to be making everything busted now. I'm pretty sure I'm missing out others. Decks like Fire Fists can quite happily cope with it because they're not really stopped, because they're all using level 4s. Hunders, no one really uses Hunders, but Hunders, I like them. They can dodge it quite fine, but then you get into the meta decks. Megalo. Goodbye Megalo. All these things they just can't really get around. Well, they can get around it, obviously, but it makes it really hard. Considering Orphion's at 3 and Evilswarms can make that so easily, it begs the question: have Konami gone and screwed themselves? I can imagine they're going to really want to. Well, we all know Konami are a business. That is end of the facts. They want to make money. End. That's why the ban list is there. One, to kind of balance the format, even though they don't really balance it that well. But 2, and mainly to kill off decks that are doing well, then to push the new decks, the new product. For example, the best one was Plants. Plants were doing amazing. Plants were around for a good 2-3 formats, was it? And then they killed them. Absolutely, they didn't kill them, they obliterated them. And then it entered a new wave of XYZs and all this and all that. And wind-ups last format, no, not last format, the format before, where they were just in the hand loop, they only hit the cards that kills the hand loop. And I think wind-ups were originally meant to be the original deck to XYZ. And I think people just latched on to the whole hand loop and was like, oh, we can minus people. So that's why the whole Yu-Gi-Oh community kind of jumped on the bandwagon of herpa derpa hand loop. But yeah, going back to my original question, do you think Konami have screwed themselves by making Evilswarm Ophion? Do you think it kind of restricts what decks people are going to really look into, in the meta, that is? I know obviously everyone's going to play around with the decks, but do you think that if you're going to go up against, you go to a tournament, say, and you've got like 10 rounds, if you go up against, say, a good half of them, a good percentage of them is going to be Evilswarms, and you're playing a high-level monster deck, if you really want to do it competitively, are you really going to run that? Are you going to make a judgment call and say, I'm going to be different, I'm going to run it, or I want to win, like most people do, I'm going to go against something that can put up with Evilswarms quite nicely, and not be screwed over by first turn Orpheon? Because, bottom line, you're going to run into that, and the deck can do that so consistently. And with the new card that's coming out for them, I can't remember what it is. I've literally gone off the top of my head. Cerceon, I think it is, or Cerceon, something like that. It doesn't make first turn Orpheon, but it makes play 2, 3, 4, 5 turn Orpheons like that. Because you summon it, you banish one, you get one back, and you summon it. So are you really going to be able to cope with that? And the fact that you can't really use a lot of back row removal because you've got lances. They've got their own built-in lances. They've also I play Evilswarms. I'm sorry, I play them. I've loved them since they came out in the OCG. We've got our Forbidden Dress. We can stop destruction. Some people also play Lance itself because it's good for because it is good for aggressive Lance. Minus 800 to them. So, That's what I think. I think that, if I'm honest, I can't see Evilswarms being around next format, in the fact that I can see Konami doing their usual thing of, crap, we want to push synchros, the new synchros that are coming out, we want to push things like that, we want to push prophecies, if they decide to make any more busted cards more than Judgment, which will be hit in some way, shape or form. If they want to push that stuff, the likelihood is Orphion's going to get hit, and it's going to go to 1, if not be banned. I can't see it being banned, to be honest, but it'll go to 1, and then all Evilswarm players will do, they'll abuse XYZ Reborn. I thought if Evilswarms were going to be hit this format, Ophion goes to 1, the format that we're in now, March 2013, I was just going to play XYZ Reborn, because it's an instant stop to your special summoning, you know? So, yeah, but that's really it. Let me know what you think. Do you think they've screwed themselves over? Do you think they'll just kind of let it go? Or do you think Ophion is bad for the game, in the fact that people are not going to play the decks that they want to, and not the decks that Konami want to push? Alright, cheers guys, thank you very much.